Hello chess lovers, I have a fantastic game for you played by two famous chess composers. With the white pieces is playing Vitaly Chekhover and his opponent is Genrikh Kasparian. Genrikh Kasparian was one of the greatest composers of chess and game studies. In 1972 he became an international grandmaster of chess composition, the first composer to receive this title from FIDE. Also he was an active chess player, winning the Armenian championship 10 times. His opponent Vitaly Chekhover was also a famous Soviet chess player and chess composer who published more than 160 endgame studies. The game was played in 1936 in Erevan. Let's see how the game went on. Chekhover started with d4 and knight f6 by Kasparian. c4, d6, knight f3, g6. Kasparian goes for king's Indian defense. g3, bishop g7. Bishop g2, we see castling by both sides. Knight d7, knight c3, e5, d takes e5, d takes e5, queen c2, rook e8, b3, and now black is pushing the pawn forward, e4, and after knight d4 the pawn goes further, e3. White didn't capture and played f4. But if bishop takes e3, then knight g4 can be very unpleasant. You can't move away your bishop because your knight is hanging. If queen d2, then knight takes e3, and after f takes e3, knight f6, these doubled pawns are vulnerable and black has a strong counterplay. Let's go back. After e3 we see f4, c6 controlling the d5 square, not allowing any knight d5 move and opening the queen's diagonal. Bishop b2, queen a5, knight f3, and the queen jumps to h5 square, eyeing on white king. Knight d1, knight c5, bishop e5, bishop f5, queen b2 attacking the knight on f6. And now you can pause the video and try to find Kasparian's next move. Ready? He went for a fantastic exchange sacrifice and captured on e5. White recaptured on e5 with a pawn. Well, if knight takes e5, then knight g4 can be very unpleasant. This knight is pinned and also threatening queen takes h2 checkmate. If h4, then bishop f4, exchanging the light square bishops. If bishop f3, then bishop takes f3, rook takes f3, then black can go for this beautiful tactical shot, knight d3, intensifying the pressure on e5. If e takes d3, then the pawn is no longer protecting the f3 square. Black can capture on e5, and after f takes e5, queen takes f3. And white's position is hopeless. Let's go back. After rook takes e5, we see f takes e5. Now comes knight g4, h3. Well, a better move was queen a3, attacking the knight and moving away the queen from this diagonal with a tempo. But instead we see h3, and gradually white's position is starting to collapse. Knight takes e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes h3, rook c1, bishop takes e5, queen c2, and black is also capturing on g3. Knight takes e3, bishop takes g2, king takes g2, and once the king is exposed, Kasparian is starting a king hunt. Queen h2 check, king f3, bishop h4, rook g1, queen h3 check, king f4, rook e8. Well, instead of playing rook e8, Kasparian missed checkmate in 5. Actually, g5 check is winning on the spot. If rook takes g5, then bishop takes g5 check, king takes g5, knight e6 check, king f6, queen h4 check, king e5, queen f4 checkmate. Let's go back. After king f4, we see rook e8. Now comes knight g4, knight e6 check, king e5, knight g5 check. Again, Kasparian missed bishop g3 check, which is winning faster. The following continuation is possible and white king is getting checkmate hit. After king e5, we see knight g5 check, king d6, bishop g3 check, rook takes g3, queen takes g3, king d7, queen takes g4 check. Of course, king f8 was winning faster, but Kasparian is also allowing white to capture on e8. King takes e8. Look at this king. What is this king doing on e8 square? This is the place of the black king. Queen c8 check, king e7, queen c7 check, king e8, knight e6. White played a desperate rook d1, but here comes this fantastic knight g7 checkmate. What a beautiful game played by the greatest chess composer Genrikh Kasparian. Your comments and questions please. What do you think about this amazing game?